What up, to
Hey,
everybody? We're now under the Blacktop, where we try to get our act together and find strength and unity in the circle of life and friendship. I am Billy.
I'm Timbo.
and I'm Ray, man. It is nice to see y'all, man.
It's nice to be seen.
Oh
Nice.
man, man, good stuff, man. It's been a little while since we talked, man. How y'all been? Timbo, how you been?
I have been great. It's been a lot going on, as y'all know. But yeah, a lot of good things. Uh, some more commissions at work, so that's cool. Uh, just trying to take everything a day at a time, make time for everything that I need to do. There's a lot going on, but I am very happy to be back here and doing this.
Good stuff, man. We happy to have you, man. Man, Billy, how you been?
Same thing, man. Take it a day at a time. I don't know what it is, but these days are just some of these days have just been super challenging. Trying to stay positive. It is a tough, tough task. But I can feel the resilience, man. I can feel the muscle growing. So I know it's all for a reason. So I'm good, man. How are you?
Man, I'm pretty good, man. It's been had some family stuff happening recently, but it's been all right. Just as you two have already said, just taking it one day at a time.
I mean, that's what you can do. That's all
That's
you
all you
can
gotta
do, for
do.
real.
That's it.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy how 2021 has been rocking us. But man, it's just do what we can. And so
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's nice when we can have these moments. We can kind of just come together and just kind of sit back and just kick it
Yeah.
and not have to think about what is life. We can sit back and talk about like these wild albums because I don't even understand how. It was funny. I was going to listen to it. I'm like, okay, let me look and see who the artist is. I'm like, Soccer Mommy? Like,
hmm
I
hmm
don't think I've ever even heard of this artist before. So it was just so interesting, man. How do we even get into this? Timbo, man, how do we get here?
I don't know how we got here, but I think it had been something that had been cycled through a couple of times. Because I remember it, as we'll see later on with our album picking process, it had filtered through a couple of times. And so, but all I know is I was pleasantly surprised, actually. So I'm not trying to give too much away. I don't know how much we were delving in at this point, but yeah.
Talk.
So the album we're talking about is uh, Color Theory by Soccer Mommy. It came out on February 28th, 2020. It's alternative and indie. So you were saying something, Billy. I just wanted to get that out since we were already talking about the album.
I just forgot.
Okay.
I wanted you to talk about it. I was really interested. I'm interested to hear what pleasantly surprised you.
Just honestly, the sound. It was just the sonics, uh, even the songwriting, and her voice too. There were some special things about it. I think that kind of like are unique to her that makes it make it worthwhile for the listener.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, it's just really fresh and different. Kind of nostalgic, but still really
In
cool.
what way? Is there a nostalgia that you can describe or no?
What I mean, the first song, what was it? Bloodstream. Yes, Bloodstream. That's the. She was talking about being nostalgic in that. It starts off with her talking about running around in the field, in the yard as a kid, and so it's just that, and as well as the aesthetics that she chose musically. It reminded me a lot of like that grunge rock from the early '90s, like
Gotcha.
Nirvana and Kurt Cobain. Yeah,
Gotcha.
but still, kind of, it was still unique because it was her, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, man. I
What
don't
about you?
know, man. I I mean, it had real laid back vibes. It was
hmm
real cool. It was a little sad. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was just melancholy kind of. I don't know. It just didn't really rock with me. Nothing I disliked about it. But nothing I necessarily loved about it. Maybe it's I got to be in a certain mood. Just personally, I've been
hmm
trying to keep myself in a personal, in a certain headspace. So maybe it's just that was just anti my little personal vibe. When I was kind of riding home and listening to it. But I don't know. I like her name though.
Mhm. Not the music, just the name.
I mean, the music ain't bad. The music it sounded good. I just it wasn't my favorite.
Did you get a chance to look at the lyrics at all,
I
or just
I did
listening
not.
to?
I didn't. And that
See,
would
the
probably
lyrics
give me
are
a
good.
greater
Yeah,
appreciation for it if I can just kind of parse through exactly what she's kind of saying and going through.
yeah.
Just off a vibe, it was a little mellow for
Got you. It
what I was
was.
looking for.
It definitely was mellow and was an adjustment, but I still think she has some genius moments here. To me, the first two songs, I like the way they sounded, and then what she was talking about. It seems to be she struggled with some addiction. I haven't done that much research, but she was talking about stuff that themes that I've seen before that are related to addiction and
Okay.
just the struggle of that. So
Okay. I fall betwixt the two of you. Were you about to say something, Ray?
No, no, I was about to ask for your thoughts on it actually.
Okay. Yeah, I fall betwixt the two opinions. Ken, Ray, sorry. I'm with you. I get both sides. So I agree with the genius moments, Timbo. Songs 2 and 3 down the drain and Royal Screw Up, I really, really enjoyed. And I like Gray Light. I think it was towards the end of the last
uh-huh.
song.
hmm
I think those are songs that touch me the most. But then there are more so or more often than not, even though the aesthetic feels a little nostalgic, like you said, Timbo, it kind of drones on or it feels
hmm
monotone. It
hmm
feels kind of linear. And I would revisit it maybe for those songs, but the project as a whole, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't not necessarily impressed. I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's a cool album. I liked it,
hmm hmm
and I can appreciate some of the more genius moments again, as you call them.
hmm
And yeah, man, it's kind of a weird feeling. Like I like
Yeah,
it.
no, I get what you're saying because I've had that feeling, and I did
Yeah.
have it a little bit listening to the album
Okay.
with the other albums that we were describing, where it was just like linear. That's what it is. It's like it seems like it never really leaves the same world. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get
Or
that. She
a little
did.
bit more than because there was another album that we had that never really left the same world or left the world, and it was still different enough to
hmm
keep me captivated. This one just I just feel repetitive, but I can't really tell you why. It might have been some of the melodies. I'm not sure though.
Yes, it was the melodies. I have to admit.
Right.
hmm
Yeah, but
But
that's my
yeah,
take.
okay, awesome.
Cool. And how we ended up here was this is an album I chose. I wanted to listen to this. I think I offered it up once. It just looked really interesting. Not at all what I thought it was going to be, but still worth the listen. This is how we find our albums.
Yeah.
Ready? So what we do is we each pick an album. Right now, we'll pick one that we kind of wouldn't listen to or gravitate towards. And the person whose album was chosen the last time, they get the first choice to take one album off. Whoever's album was taken off, that person gets to choose which album we listen to because you only got two albums left. So you take the last one off, and then we're left with one.
Right.
Um,
It probably sound harder, more
Yeah,
complicated than what
you
it
have to
really
see the
yeah,
is.
action because, to be
hold on.
honest, even the rules don't make sense to me. But I know how it works when we do it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
All right,
hmm
And
so
then we're doing one and one, right? So from this point on, we're doing that type, and then we'll all next time we'll each bring a record that we want to listen to.
Right.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go back
Yeah.
and forth. So start us off, somebody. What are our
All right.
albums?
I'm gonna
Okay.
go because I actually forgot to look for an album.
Uh-huh.
I just jumped on Metacritic and went through kind of what was coming out or what was new, fresh out, and just something that just looked interesting or just caught my eye that I wouldn't listen to because it's a British rock band.
Mhm.
Um, Glowing in the Dark by
Uh,
Django Django.
dark.
I
You
think
said
that might have
Django.
came up on the same list I was looking at because it's
All right.
like I don't something else I was going to ask, but never mind.
All right. I didn't mean
Okay,
to cut you
so
off, man.
No, you good. So we going. Okay,
All right,
so is it my turn now?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my vote is for Mogwai, and it's called "As the Love Continues."
Can you spell Mogwai for me?
Yes, Mogwai. Yeah,
Okay,
AI.
so that'll be the Timbo
Uh,
pick.
and mine was How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie XCX. I
Okay.
hope that's her name.
You want to listen to Charlie SCX?
I don't know who this person is.
Okay, I've heard the name.
Okay. Yeah,
They've
man,
written some songs that you know and
Yeah.
sang
well,
them.
I'm excited now if I get to listen to it. Oh, it's my choice.
Yep.
Mogwai or Glowing in the Dark, Django. Mogwai gotta go, man. I know I said it wrong. Sorry.
All right.
Mogwai.
So with Timbo's choice being taken away, Timbo now has the power to make the next decision. So it is between Glowing in the Dark by Django Django and How I'm Feeling Now by Charlie XCX.
It's definitely glowing. Is what I so I always pick what I want to hear, and
Okay.
that's backwards too. But I always do that.
Okay, so we will take Charlie XCX away,
Yes,
and this week we will be.
You always pick what you wanna listen to.
I do that. It's just something I subconsciously do. I realize that I do that, and so I was just calling it out. I was like, I always say, instead of saying the one that I want to get rid of, I say the one I actually want to listen to.
Got you. Okay, now I understand now. I got you. So we're doing Django Django.
All right. Yep. So next week, people, those of you who are listening with us, we will be doing "Glowing in the Dark" by Django Django. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about.
No man, no idea. We will
It's a
find out
love.
together.
You think it's a love album?
No,
Glowing in the Dark.
it's probably something crazy. It really is.
I
I'm
don't know,
serious.
man. I can't even call it. I need to look at some
even
album art
try.
or something. Maybe that'll give me a little
Well,
inkling.
that
Actually, I
was
can't look at the album art. I think it was on here. It looked weird. I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll talk about it next week.
okay. Yeah, that one didn't work. Love languages, first chapter. That's where we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are reading the book Love Languages by
Dr. Gary Chapman.
Dr. Gary Chapman. Our thing was to read chapter 1 for this episode, so we can kind of talk about it. Last week we took the test last week, right?
Yes.
And
explained what our everything was. And
right.
did a mini test at the end of our own, apparently. Okay. Yes. Billy.
Did you care about my percentages? I found them.
Yeah, I saw that, right? So I was curious as to the percentages.
Oh Lord, it's gonna take me a minute to find mine.
Whoa.
I thought you
Because
told us.
I figured I knew kind of
I
what Billy
might have.
was. So what? Your top one. What was the top one? What was the gold one?
Quality time.
Quality time.
Yep.
And then access, sir. Oh well, no. Then words of affirmation and physical touch.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Isn't that very interesting?
That is interesting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
Yeah. So what was
it's
the
interesting that
percentages?
your
Did you
acts of
say?
service are tied for the lowest.
Okay.
Isn't
Well,
that
no, I
strange?
guess no. I guess if you know you, then no.
Not
I guess if you
strange.
think about it a little bit, you know.
Things. Well, in the way that I've lived life, they haven't really mattered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that they won't matter later. They just don't matter to me now.
Mm. Yeah, maybe that's what kind of came through in the testing. Yeah. So yeah. So what you guys think with this first chapter, right? So we jumped into chapter 1 of the book. I'll admit this is interesting, at least for me. This is not the type of book that I would typically read. I I guess for those listening, I try to go through listening and reading about 25 books a year. I try to is my little Goodreads goal. They ask me every year,
That's
what do
what's
you
up.
want to read? So
Reading is what? Fundamental.
so I try to, do that. But I typically don't read this type of thing. I have
Right.
read books on love and relationships before, so I'm not completely foreign to it, but it is relatively new to me. What about you
Agreed.
guys?
Yeah, agreed. Because it's like even his prose is kind of different. Like, because I was listening to it, I'm not reading it, I'm listening to it, and it's interesting. It's like you said, it's different. I wouldn't normally read anything like this either. I, have read small articles on different things about love and relationships and things like that, but not going in depth like this. And so that was interesting.
Okay.
Uh, for me, I'm used to self-help things, so things that break down, some of the bigger questions or just questions that seem to be so common between us and how we interact with each other. I'm just used to kind of looking or researching into those things. So maybe not specifically about love, but love's always tied into it in some type of way. So I guess I'm kind of in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
used to it, not used to it, but I am used to exploring and looking for new information and ways to make myself better.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in that
Okay.
respect, yeah.
Okay, well, does anybody wonder if this really happened or if he was just doing it for the purpose of the book? I'm wondering that. Just the idea of this whole story. And I mean, I guess that is his business, but it's just like, I had to be me. I'm like, that's a little question that I had. Like,
No,
this guy really got up there and went into all his 3 marriages
yeah,
with
I
you.
get that, right? Like I was wondering that too. I was almost wondering because like you, Timbo, I also listened to it, so I was wondering how it was written, like if it was written as a like direct quote, because he would really went on a monologue, about how he met the person on the plane and the person went on each of their marriages and was asking him once he figured out that he was a
Because
marriage
this guy is a
counselor.
relationship,
Yeah, because
marriage
he was
counselor,
a
relationship
marriage
expert. Like,
counselor. So he wanted to ask him, is what was the question exactly?
after the
What
marriage,
happens to love
after
after
the,
the
the
marriage?
wedding, something to that extent. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, after the wedding, which is a very interesting question. Billy, what do you think?
I just want to say, yeah, I don't think he made it up.
Okay.
People talk to me, man. Random people talk to me and share things with me.
It is possible. It is.
Normal,
Mm-hmm.
So to
And,
me,
and
Especially
listeners, we
on
don't
a
want
plane.
anybody thinking that you can't talk to a random if you feel like you need to.
yeah, for sure.
Sometimes.
Honestly, it's probably almost easier to talk to a random person because, you
Mhm.
don't have to see them the next day. You don't got to worry about them judging you, almost like on some therapy type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just kind of just unload to somebody that.
I, I also think that maybe it's not a direct quote because he wanted to protect that man's business. He didn't want to use his actual
Mhm.
business for it, so he probably just changed a few things, or
Hmm.
I
Mhm.
changed a few things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like it. I like. I just like how he presented the question. So I have no
Mhm.
idea. I'm in. I'm ready to see what these answers are. I don't know.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, the question of what happens to the love after marriage. I don't know. Apparently, for this guy,
Right.
uh,
It switches every time.
and it leads to divorce,
Yeah. Um.
which
Three
was
times.
interesting. Well, it was different scenarios each time too,
Right.
though.
That was interesting to me because it's like how because in a way it's like is this guy the problem? Like I'm trying to. It was hard. I wish I could study them more to kind of like really analyze because I can't really remember what dude's issue was. I mean, I guess the whole point was he didn't know their love language, and if you can't speak it, then it just it will your relationship suffers.
Hmm.
So,
And I think that is kind of what he was saying is that he
mhm.
did know the love language, right? Because even in that one relationship, right, when he was like, "Well, I was telling her that she looked good, and I was
Right, she
telling
was
her these
beautiful.
things, But it seems like she was looking for more acts of service, kind of like, well, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, oh, why aren't you cleaning up, or why aren't you, doing X, Y, and Z? So it's just interesting how, they were kind of getting switched up there.
And that's crazy, just the whole
And then
thought
he
of
didn't
that.
even see it.
Yeah. Because it's not he don't love her. It's just she
Hmm.
receives it the way she wants to receive it.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah, vice versa. Well, I like how you broke it down to us having a default language and us not pushing past our default, or
Mm.
maybe one or two steps beyond our default that we don't see. We don't
Yeah.
go until we find what's effective, or at
Mm.
least in the examples. That's what I'm getting is that we don't work together enough to find what's effective for the two of us over the course of this time, not just when you start. Seems like there's a constant adaptation or a being in tuneness with the person that seems necessary and should definitely be there. That's the level of intimacy I'm trying to describe. Not
Mhm.
sexual intimacy, but just that in tuneness. It seems like things would be a little bit easier to communicate and bridge the gap, but I have
Mhm.
no idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just interesting because it does seem that the language does go a long way. Even when he kind of went into you look at these articles when they have kind of like you were kind of alluding to a little bit, Billy, where you have like 100 things that you can do for your spouse, and like he said, you kind of pick the one or two things that kind of speak to you that you think might be cool, and you would try those things. Okay, let me try this for the wife. Okay, she didn't notice that. Okay, let me try another thing on there from this list. I'm gonna
Mhm.
get it. Let me try this. And
Mhm.
if you're doing stuff that's in the wrong language that she not gonna even notice, all that's gonna do is upset you because you feel like you trying. She not
Right.
really, receiving things, and it's just that disconnect, right? And I could see
Mhm.
where you just like, okay, well, back to I'm not gonna do it no more. Back to the
And
same
then
thing
that
that's not
complacency,
working.
yep, the
Yeah.
complacency that happens, and then that's where the book is trying to break people out of that. But I
Hmm.
don't know. In certain ways, it kind of seems like, okay, if you try two things and they don't work, why wouldn't you try something else? But I hear a lot about from women about men just not trying. Like they'll do those two things and that don't work, and then that'll be it, and then they don't try no more at all.
I also feel like when taking other people's situations, there's so much that you don't know how a person even perceives a person's effort.
True.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like, that's just so. I have so many questions about that. Like when he was giving the guys examples, or the guy was giving him examples on the airplane. I get it, but what was that? Just was it just that caused a divorce? You know what I mean? It's
Probably
just
not.
I see that you're talking about the big picture, but what I believe, or at least I learned from a close friend of mine, uh, I was asking him. I said, "Dude, you've been married for a long time. You're putting up with a lot of things. What is it? Why do people break down?" He said, "It's not the big stuff. It's the everyday little things that really kind of tear you apart. It's a old head, wisdom out
Hmm.
the you know what." And I'm like, huh, that makes a lot of sense. So maybe it's not just, even though taking the trash out is a little thing, maybe it's a bunch of little things that reflect the same effort or same lack of the same effort. You know what I mean? I think it's just more, a little more to it, a more than what we've read. But again, it's a book just trying to get you a general idea to help guide you. Does that make sense?
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's interesting. Now, this chapter ended right on a question, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was what was it? Something to the effect of marriages would be better if,
There,
or
there would be fewer divorces if people would what?
okay, what did you guys have there? 'Cause I got mine,
Oh.
but of course I'm the married one of the bunch, right? So I'm probably gonna get that nice married answer.
Um, I feel like this is a trap anyway, but I say either communicating or whatever leads to effective communicating, so people can really
Okay, that's what I had too, right?
and really listen to the other person.
Hmm.
Really work together. Don't work at
Hmm.
each other. Kind of work together, but apparently that's difficult. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean it is. I had communication and understanding, right? Like, cause to effectively communicate, but it's you also have to kind of want to understand. I mean, it's
Okay.
communication and understanding. I think understanding goes a long way. It's something to hear somebody, but it's something else to actually understand or to kind of see
Right.
what they're going through and why they feel the way they feel. Yes, sir.
In this life of getting older, I have learned when I understand something, sometimes I understand something still within just barely bigger boundaries than I had before. I had to learn to understand things completely away from what I think it is and my preconceived notions. I think that takes a whole nother effort, especially in relationships, and especially if you've been hurt. You know, I've been through some traumatic experiences. I think it's
Hmm.
harder to just kind of be vulnerable enough to trust something without your previous experiences. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Willing to understand with none of your biases.
Which is
Hmm.
difficult to do, right? Because
Very,
then you have to
man.
really have a self understanding there, and who
So,
really has that self understanding. I mean, it's just so difficult, you know. It's everything is a journey, though, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I feel like Timbo spoke. Timbo, what you think,
Yeah,
man?
well, yeah. What was
I
your
mean,
answer to the question?
essentially, it was understanding,
Okay.
intimacy. Like, I don't know. People gotta try harder. If you want somebody, you gotta do
That's
what you need to do to keep.
that's
And
the
and
thing
I
that
know it.
I don't mean to cut you off,
Mhm.
but I get it. It's like if a kid is having trouble with math and you tell him to try harder,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Hmm.
Sometimes that's the way we talk to each other. I don't know what I need you to do. I just need you to try harder. Well, how am I supposed to know if you don't even know? And vice versa.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I can just see how these things can be so complicated. Like you said, that
Hmm.
disconnect just continues to grow for people who
Hmm.
want to work together, but it just for some reason it's like this doesn't go that way.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I would say it's the same thing. Want to
Uh,
make it work. You have to want to make it work, without a doubt.
Hmm.
So
gotcha.
I feel like
Yeah.
we as people overcomplicate stuff, and
No, I do.
I mean, now mind you, it's a lot that goes on in relationships, but
Mhm.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting one, man. So,
Mhm.
but so that was chapter one. So,
Yeah,
we'll kind of get in. Now, how are we gonna do this, guys? We're gonna do this chapter by chapter, and kind of talk through it.
I would like to do chapter by chapter. I like a
Okay.
chapter by
Okay.
What you think, Timbo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
All right, cool. So we can do a chapter by chapter thing. So next week we'll do chapter two,
chapter.
and we kind of go from there.
Yeah,
All right,
cool.
cool. So and moving on to something a little more probably a little something a little more fun to think about. Not so taxing to the mind, I should say. Not so. I'm not gonna say
Relax
that.
to the mind. Where are we going?
We googling, Tim. We googling.
Okay, okay.
Nah, man. What are y'all googling? So for
No,
those listening, I don't know if it's your first time or not. We
If
have a segment called "What You Googling." I don't know if that's what it's called or not, but that's what we're calling it right
mhm.
today, right? I don't know.
it's the
Where we
Yeah,
kind of
no, we
just
do
kind of
call
look
it
at
that.
what we're googling over the past like week or so, and just
Mhm.
kind of a little more explanation of kind of what's going on. I know that Timbo is typically on some food stuff, so let's
Yeah.
start there. What we got, Timbo?
Actually, have y'all seen that Tory Lanez pic?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God. It's a pic of him playing basketball and they're showing the top of his head. It's bad. It's
I
all
thought that
bad.
he,
I thought somebody
yeah,
was joking. I had to look it up.
I thought that he paid a lot for. I mean, no jokes, but I thought he paid a lot
It don't look
to.
like that in that pic. And this was a
oh,
couple of days ago.
Oh man.
I don't know about this. So you Googled this?
Yes, I Googled it. I had to see if it was real.
Oh well, was it real? I guess yeah, it
Yes.
was, and it
And it
wasn't.
was real bad.
I mean,
Dang,
speaking of that, dude, what's up with this girl who put gorilla glue on her hair?
man. Look, she was looking for that gorilla snot. It could have happened to anybody.
Oh,
Like
I didn't
it
know that.
said multi-use right there on the gorilla glue. It said don't put on skin and
So I know what
eyes. It
side you
didn't say
on.
nothing about hair.
I
Like,
know what
come
side you
on,
on there.
come on, cut her. No, I'm just talking. I am just talking.
She
I
had
really
this
don't
to the hair.
understand. I
Hmm? What'd you
Because
say?
what I saw some on Instagram that made it, it was
hmm
like one of the sequence pictures. It was like 4 pictures from start
Hmm.
to finish, and
Yeah,
at the end, it's like they had to cut her hair off. She was like
yeah.
bald, like the Jefferson. Is that
Well,
or
she's
no?
not bald. Bald. She actually has a nice amount of her hair.
I
There
mean,
was
like
that
she
was
was
able to.
clean, smooth bald. Like, so did that not happen?
No, that
Okay.
did not happen at all. It was a doctor, a black doctor, who came up with the solution to
Oh,
get her hair out, and she has most of it.
I
So yeah, but it was just yeah, he did it for free. It was like a $13,000 surgery.
man,
Even the money that she got from her GoFundMe, she ended up donating to charity. So she kept a
oh, that's
thousand
good.
for her
oh,
EMS expense, or the emergency room expense for having
Is she
that.
still trying to sue Gorilla Glue?
I hope not.
That was
It's not
where I
nowhere.
was kind of
It's
had
not gonna go well
issue.
if
I
you
don't
do.
want to say issue, but I'm like, I don't. That's where my fault was. I'm like, come on, like,
And
come on.
they made an official statement, and they said we wish her the best. So that was like, that's what we're doing. We're not doing more than that,
Oh man, the equivalent to the Kanye shrug.
right?
what? We wish her the best.
Like,
Yeah, we wish
hey,
her the best. But they said we say claim as they don't put this on your body,
I mean,
and
talk about a sticky
and
situation.
it gets worse. Did you hear about the guy who put it on his mouth on the Dixie cup? Yeah,
Whoa,
that was
whoa,
days
whoa,
later.
whoa. Why? What is
He,
this about? What are
he didn't
people doing?
believe it. He didn't believe that happened to her, so he tried it himself. And they had to. He said it was a painful peeling process that they had to do. And I said, good, because that's what you get. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Wow. Okay. All right.
so yeah, back to yeah. What did you Google, Billy? What have you been Googling?
Oh man. So we said that YouTube counts.
Right.
So is at my boy Chevy's house for a minute, kicking on wood for a minute. Shout out to Chevy. Chevy was like, "Yo, you got to watch this interview with Dallas Austin on 85 South or with the show 85 South." He said, "I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna show you 5 minutes, and trust me, this has nothing on the rest of the interview." 5 minute interview. It's like about his story about Dallas Austin as a kid, and his step pops was playing with James Brown, and right before James Brown was about to come out, he came out and he slapped everybody. Right, so he slapped everybody, and the kids like, "Why he slap y'all like that?" And they said he didn't want us to mess up. Like, what? James Brown used to slap people before he went on stage to make sure y'all. So Chevy was 100% right. I went back and watched this interview. I definitely recommend it. It's almost 3 hours long, like 2 hours, 50 minutes. It was worth the whole thing for me. That
Mm-hmm.
interview was amazing. All the stories, just to see kind of, well, I guess I would never truly know, but to see Dallas Austin's character and how much he cared for his city and the people and just trying to make good music, I thought it was awesome. And there's some great stories in there. And them dudes funny.
Mm-hmm.
They're really funny. That was awesome,
wow. Okay.
right?
Right.
Yeah, me. Well, I was not googling that. That's a lot. See, mine sounds so simple in
You said
comparison
that
to
was a
that.
lot.
I
Okay,
mean,
so what is it?
like he googling like
Let's go
interviews
to
longer
simpler
than a
times.
Titanic movie.
Let's,
Simpler time.
Me, I'm googling. The thing I was googling was 3-year anniversary gifts. Man, me and the wifey coming
ah,
up on 3 years married. So
whoop, whoop. That's wonderful.
um, so I was trying to look up traditional gifts, and the traditional gift is leather for three
Ooh.
years.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
Okay.
Does it have a
uh,
reason or symbolize anything?
they did have reasoning behind it. I can't remember exactly what it was. Reaching the stage of flexible durability.
Hmm.
But see, I don't know. We've been together for 13 years, right? So
Yeah.
what is the, let me see, 13-year anniversary gift would be probably something cool, like, oh, lace. It'll be lace.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll do both.
Y'all are laced together forever.
You
Take
know?
it
Yeah, actually, yeah. What's the symbolism behind lace? See, here we go. I'm Googling live.
Okay.
Um, Intricate detailing reflecting the intertwining of the couple's lives through 13 years of marriage. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm gonna do,
Leather and lace. That
I'm gonna
sounds
do
cool.
leather. We got 33 years married. So
Congratulations, man.
well,
Yes.
thank you. Well, I guess coming up on 3 years if she can put up with your boy for a couple more weeks.
Don't tempt her to say anything.
Hey, I know, right? Shh, no ideas. No.
Cool.
But yeah, that's all I'm Googling, man. Nothing fun at all. I mean, it's fun for me, but nothing, really not as
God,
cool as what y'all doing.
stop it, man. Somebody told us about that. He was like, "Yo, you need to watch this." What's next, Maju?
No, it's funny that he said you should watch this, but I mean, you need to tell us where that 5 minute thing is. You can't tell us, hey,
You can
look,
just look at it. You can
it's
look
a
at it.
cool
It's just,
5 minutes, but here's the 3 hours. Like,
that's what he showed me. There's just a 5 minute clip. You can just look at that 5 minute clip.
okay.
Dallas
But
Austin, House
who was he talking to? Dallas Austin it was just an interview with
with so a lot of the people from
just
Wild 'N Out.
everybody.
I don't know about this show until now. So it's just
Okay.
people from Wild 'N Out, and they hilarious.
I'm about to go check it out. All right.
Hilarious.
We got questions?
Yeah, we got questions. What's this thing called? El sombrero de preguntas. See me,
The only
amigos.
Spanish he like, apparently.
Yeah, man, I should continue my studies. Be doing other things. You ready? I'm not looking. Let's find one. What does it say?
Oh man, here we go.
Right.
Would you prefer to live in the country or city?
Okay, that's a nice one. See? Oh man. For me personally, I always kind of saw myself as a city person. But then I had a kid and I can kind of see the value of the country and having just the land and the space. And as I get older, I kind of like just the peace and quiet that would kind of come, with country life. So I guess country is probably what I would say now.
Okay.
I would say city. I just because I grew up in the city, so
I like the
that is.
conveniences
I
of the
know most.
city, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because it's like in the country, it's like stores are like miles apart.
Yeah, that's true. What's the country actually? I want to live in the suburbs. Can we do that? Like I want like land and like I want like a decent sized backyard.
Question said country.
That's still city living, right? Yeah, that's still city. City versus country.
I don't know, man. I
I'm
don't.
gonna go
I have.
city. Yeah, you're right, Timbo. I switch.
I mean, what if you can get? What if the country is close to the city? Is it not considered a country anymore?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good point. Is it the proximity to a Walmart that says if it's a
I
city or
think so. I really do. That seems sensible.
I don't.
or is it like general population? I don't know.
Is it Lenny Kravitz? Lenny Kravitz has this Brazilian farm.
Mm-hmm.
If I could live like that, then I'll do the country. I'll at least try it for sure. It's an awesome little space, bro. Not little. I don't mean the greatest thing. It's amazing.
I like city conveniences, man.
Yeah.
I like the things that come with cities. Like I like museums,
I love
movie theaters.
It's like
I mean, but what if you can have a movie theater in the country, in your house?
I mean, yeah.
In a farm, you can have your own fresh vegetables.
Whoa. Now hold up.
Huh?
I don't know if I want to necessarily go out there and till the land myself.
Yeah.
You had to till it.
Farm.
You just have it.
I wouldn't mind owning it and utilizing it for
somebody else till it. Yes, man.
Yes, absolutely.
If I find that video, I'll send it to you.
A little sharecropping. That's what you're saying.
It's amazing. I I'm with you though. If I could live like that, I live in the country. Otherwise, I like the city, man. Nothing wrong with it. I like the peace and the scenery of the country.
That's
As
all.
far
Yeah,
as
that's what I like.
so but I would love to go outside at night and look up and really be able to see the sky, see the stars.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I would love that.
It's the
So I guess,
peace, man.
but if you can have peace in the city, is the city cool?
It's
Yeah.
loud though. Are you always gonna have light pollution in the city? You always gonna have some sort of noise pollution in the city, you know?
Yeah,
It sounds like life.
maybe far away.
So I'm like, okay.
So far
Hey,
away from other people. If you don't, what hobbies keep you entertained after you're done with the piece? When the piece becomes boring, then what?
Right.
man,
The piece
what?
will
What
become
you, when a
boring
piece
sometimes.
become boring and you sit back and read a book and kick your
That
feet
that
up and watch the sun go by? Like,
I can't.
I think I would miss the people after some time. Just people watching. I don't mean I got to
Mhm.
do it like around them or interact with people watch. I would miss the going ons of life. I would miss people trying to make their life better, making their moves, shucking and jiving. I would miss all of that.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I would definitely miss city conveniences because even now I'm thinking like, oh, like going down to a sporting event or something like that. That's city life stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Malls. You know,
Can you
Mall.
imagine
I ain't been to
Uber?
a mall and when the last time y'all been to? Oh well,
Yeah, that's right. I was wrong questions to ask that one. Right.
Yeah, bro.
Next question. Sorry.
Like,
right, exactly.
I'm like, he was just there actually,
oh my lord.
for sure.
For sure.
Oh
Yeah,
man, but
that's it.
yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
that was cool. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Nah,
no, I mean, we got a couple more in there. You might be surprised.
Yeah, no, the next one should be ridiculous.
I hope so. To all you wonderful people that are listening, tell us your answers and some of your questions. We might just ask them on the show. You can find us at Ray. Where can they find us?
Blacktop Asylum, one word on Instagram.
On the
Whoop, whoop.
gram.
Oh
If you like the show, uh, please let us know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, Blacktop is not close.
yeah.
Peace.